Get ready to match the stars from CPO Sharkey, David Landsberg, Brett Summer, Charles Nelson Reilly, from Barnaby Jones, Lee Meriwether, Richard Dawson, from the Bob Newhart Show, Marcia Wallace, as we play the star-studded Big Bunny Match Game 77. And now, here's the star of Match Game 77, Gene Reilly.
Thank you, my dear. All right, Karen. You're going to stay in the business. Terrific. Everybody ready over here?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Right. You're not ready.
Semi.
Is there something I can do for you to get you ready?
Don't toy with me.
Oh. Well, I'm serious. Let's welcome our two players, Chris Jensen and Lenore Johnson. Chris is the current champ. She has a total of $5,700. And she's got her fingers crossed. And she's being challenged now by Lenore Johnson, former resident of Michigan.
A little teeny-weeny town, 800 people.
What's it called?
Marion, Michigan.
Marion, Michigan. Yes.
No.
No. What part of the state is it in?
It's not quite halfway up, a little south of halfway.
Yes, it's a beautiful state.
Yes.
All right, ladies, good luck to both of you. We'll start this game right after we do a little business with America. Ready? Here it is. Round one. Lenore, it's up to you to choose A or B.
B for Blossom.
Who's Blossom?
My maiden name?
Oh, Lenore Blossom.
Yep.
Lenore Blossom. A fair rose if I've ever seen one.
Well, thank you.
Sally said, my husband drinks so much. Oh, we did that wrong. No, it was my mistake, not yours. Sally said, my husband drinks so much the only exercise he gets is blanking. Husband drinks so much the only exercise he gets is blanking. My husband drinks so much the only exercise he gets is blanking.
That's not really tricky, Charles. I bet he's had 47 diet drinks this week.
You put too much ice in there.
Don't show the name, we'll get lettered.
Okay. Write your answer. I'm just stalling for time.
I thought you were just coming for a friendly visit.
No, I'm stalling for time. I don't like this stuff. I never drink this stuff.
It's that diet yuck.
Pop it in.
I didn't name anything.
Just because it doesn't come from Russia and it's not transparent doesn't mean it's bad.
You're touching my body.
I can't help myself. It was there. I said touch it.
I am irresistible. There's...
So-so.
Oh, you really are toying with me. All right, Lenore. Sally said my husband drinks so much the only exercise he gets is blanking.
Lifting his arm.
All right. Well, that's elbow bending, lifting your arm. That's the only exercise you get when you drink a lot, right, David?
Not the only exercise.
What else do you get?
Belching.
Oh, belching. Well, that's a little less. Yeah, that's okay. Brett?
I don't want an argument from those people over there, whoever it is that does the buzzer, because I know this is a match. Bending his elbow, which is...
Certainly. Okay. One for Lenore. Gotcha. Okay. He got the ding without even uttering a word. Now, lead. The only exercise he gets is...
Throwing away the empties.
throwing away the empties. That's very creative, isn't it?
Very good.
Thank you.
The only exercise he gets, because he drinks too much, is blanking.
Tinkling.
Tinkling!
How very picturesque.
Yes.
You had to be there, I guess.
Yes. I don't know how much exercise involved, but anyway, we won't go into that. What do you say to this?
What do I say to this?
Yes.
I say falling down.
Falling down is another good one. Well, we had
right, but
some
good.
wonderful answers there, and 2 matches for Lenore. Now we have a first rounder for Chris, which reads, Norm said, I'll never go back to that druggist. He was out of mustard plasters, so he tried to sell me a blank plaster. He was out of mustard plasters, so he tried to sell me a blank plaster.
Your questions go with a dud thud.
Well, this one did.
Cement.
This one didn't get much reaction. Yes?
I didn't hear it.
Oh, you didn't hear the question.
You didn't miss a thing, dear.
This guy says, I'll never go back to that druggist again. He ran out of mustard plasters, so he tried to sell me a blank plaster. Don't say it till I make sure everyone's finished. Chuck right in
Charles isn't
there.
finished. What is wrong with him?
Nothing. Now he's finished. Norm said, I'll never go back to that druggist. He was out of mustard plasters, so he tried to sell me a blank plaster.
I don't know.
What is your first instinct? Remember, you're going to do that.
I know.
What came to your mind
Cement
instantly?
plaster.
What's that?
Cement plaster.
Oh, you're thinking in terms of plaster. I see. I see. Well, David, I was thinking in terms of, on other terms. What were you thinking of?
I was thinking along the lines of a wall.
A wall plaster.
Yeah.
Well, now you were on the same wavelength with Chris, but not with me. What about you?
Now, I said adhesive plaster.
Adhesive plaster.
Really? I'm not crazy about that question.
No. Well, listen, I'll be the first to admit the question really laid an egg. The audience, there was a deafening silence when we read it, and so far it's going downhill even further.
I was having my diet drink, and it really interrupted my whole train of thought. I said, like David, a wall
plaster, yeah.
But he was a drugstore.
It's a
wasn't it
plaster
drug-
wall is the phrase, the way
Right.
it usually goes. Lee, this druggist was out of mustard plasters, tried to sell a guy a blank plaster.
A ketchup plaster.
Mustard and ketchup.
Yeah, look at Chris's face.
Oh, P.U.
Now, wait a minute. What's wrong with
Good
that?
acting. That's excellent acting.
You could do that on the screen now.
It's one of the first times that the audience has ever said, hey, that's good, Lee.
And you're putting her down.
No, I didn't. Wasn't
Oh,
you,
she's
Leanne?
better than Patty, too.
It wasn't you, Leanne.
I wouldn't go that
If you're
far,
gonna do that, you
Charles.
should face the camera, hon.
Now, the thing
It was
is,
the question.
the question
You've heard of that, haven't you, Chris? No. You've never heard of mustard and ketchup?
Yes. But not in that
They have it on
context.
hot dogs and
in the
things?
diner, well, you know, there's usually mustard and ketchup and the salt and pepper and all that together.
Are you a citizen, darling?
This is a drugstore.
Any idea at all? Anything?
No, the reason she didn't say ketchup because it was in a drugstore. The locale threw her off.
I see.
Instead of mustard plasters, he tried to sell me a ketchup plaster. That would have been good. That's what she said. She said cement over there, however.
El Ketchupo.
Ketchup. What came to your mind, if any?
Honey, you don't want to know. And I certainly... Now, every once in a while a person goes blank.
Right.
And they come up with something so dumb and so boring
Yes.
that when it's their turn,
Well,
they just
enough
want
about
to
Brett. Get
right
on
along.
with the,
But imagine my surprise when it turns out to be right. Cement.
Let's hear it for Marcia! Yay! So at this moment at the end of round one, the score is 2-1 in favor of Lenore. Round two coming up after this. Hurry back. Here we go. Round two coming up. Final round. Lenore, you may have A or a B.
I'll stick with B.
Okay. 4 people play. David and the lower tier. When Weird Wanda went to the prom, she didn't need a corsage. That's because Wanda has a flower growing out of her blank. Wanda has a flower growing out of her blank. Good. You don't play. You don't play, and Charles doesn't play.
He said very clearly, David and the lower tier. This is upper tier, and that is lower tier. Really, if you just go over those simple things a few times each day, I'm sure everything will work out fine.
Where do you buy your clothes?
At the nautical shop. Why?
Now, Lenore, when Weird Wanda went to the prom, she didn't need a corsage, and that's because Wanda has a flower growing out of her blank.
Her ear.
Her ear. All right, she gave one of the places where a flower might bloom. David?
I've never pinned a corsage on someone's ear.
You haven't?
No.
Where do you pin them?
On a chest.
Okay. Has a flower growing out of her chest.
Got it.
Naturally. Lee, where is this flower growing?
I missed it by about 5 inches. This is one of my favorite answers. I say it a lot. Nose.
No.
I'm sorry.
Okay, she's looking for an ear, Richard. Give her a little ear.
Oh, of
I'm
course,
a
sorry.
nose man myself. No, I thought boob.
Oh,
That's where they have them, don't they?
yeah, they put them right up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or here. Yes, well, yours was growing right from in the middle.
Well, I don't want to mention where it was.
Where the peat moss was there.
This is it. I have here for you a truly tasteless answer, which is very embarrassing for me because it's such a tasteful show.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Cement again?
Yeah. Cement. So we'll just let this pass on.
All right.
Armpit.
Oh, dear. Oh. I am offended.
It was my answer.
We
and
may
I'm
not have you back for another week. Okay, now, Chris, here we are. We're getting down to the final nitty-gritty here.
Yeah.
And what you have to do is match 1 to tie and 2 to win. Let's see what we have for you. Sally the Sailor said. Sally the Sailor. Are you listening to me, Chris?
Yeah.
Terrific. She said, I just fell in love with the Johnson twins. And this time it's for real. Look, their pictures are tattooed on my blanks.
Look, their pictures are tattooed on my blanks.
Right.
I gotcha.
Who does not play? Oh, you, that's right, the cement lady. The cement lady.
I shouldn't be quite so proud that I got it right, should I? But
When
I did.
you scuba,
Yeah.
how long can you stay under?
Oh, well, so far, just about a half an hour. But it depends on your depth, you know.
Right,
Depends
yes.
on your depth. There, if you don't go below 30 feet, you can stay down there for about 300 minutes.
Is it fun?
It's wonderful.
Yes. I've always admired those Jacques Cousteau films. Are you ready, Chris?
Yeah.
There, here we go. Sally the Sailor said, I just fell in love with the Johnson twins, and this time it's for real. Look, their pictures are tattooed on my blanks.
Your boobs or chest, which are same difference. Same.
Well, now, wait a minute. Hold on now. Make up your mind. Boobs or
Oh,
chest?
Boobs.
Okay. What do you say, David?
She must have worked in a bakery. She has a buns.
Buns. Well, that was the other good answer. What do you say?
I say, if you got them, flaunt them. Boom.
Food. Score is now tied 2 to 2.
Don't go for it. You won't.
Well, we're waiting.
One more pair will win the
I
game.
said buns only because if you want me to go into it, it's a long, heavy explanation.
Well, will it be amusing?
Exciting. I know it gets me going, but I think we should go right on.
Would you like to submit your explanation in writing, Charles? We need another pair here, Lee.
We do?
Yes.
All right, bazoom.
That wins the game. There we are. You may go to your usual spot, right there, and we'll say goodbye to Lenore Johnson. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lenore Johnson, for being with us. We've got some gifts for you here from Match Game 77. While we spin her off, we've got to spin a message or two just for you. Now we're going to carry on here with Chris Jensen. She's up here for the third time. She has $5,800. And, of course, here in this big super match, she could win over $5,000 additional. Let's find out how it goes. Chris, are you ready?
Yeah.
Not too long ago, we polled the studio audience right in this very room, and he said, get your best response to this. Blank Armstrong. Blank Armstrong. Now, the answer they gave most often will get you $500 if you match it, $250 for the second most popular, $100 for the third. Whom do you call on?
How about Richard?
Neil Armstrong.
Neil Armstrong, the famous astronaut.
How about Marcia?
Marcia?
Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Louis Armstrong.
How about Brett?
Brett.
Jack Armstrong, the All-American War.
Well, I think you got 3 good ones there, Chris. But, again, it's up to you. You can reject all of them and give us one of your own. They are Jack Armstrong, Neil Armstrong, and Louis Armstrong. What is your pleasure?
How about Louis Armstrong?
Louis Armstrong. All right. Let's begin down at the bottom and reveal the $100 response. Jack Armstrong, the All-American boy, was Brett's answer.
Nice going, baby.
Let's see if we got Louis Armstrong out of the $250 response. No, we got Neil. You know, you may be right. You may be right. Let's slide it, please. She is right. Very good. Very good. Congratulations, you picked up another $500. Now you're over $6,000. And that means you're going to play for 10 times the amount you won, or $5,000. And you have to match one celebrity exactly to collect the money.
How about Richard?
All right, Richard, you ready? Here we go. Good luck to you, Chris. This is worth $5,000 to Chris, and it reads as follows. Dollar blank. Dollar blank. Dollar blank. Dollar blank. He's finished. You give us an answer that matches his, we give you $5,000.
About dollar sign?
Dollar sign. I think they're thinking of something else. At least I was, anyway. Richard, what were you thinking of?
Bill.
Bill. Dollar bill. Yeah. Did you think of it and reject?
Both of them
dollar
are
bill?
excellent. You know, you
Yeah.
could have
Oh,
been
yeah.
either
Dollar
or.
sign is good. Dollar
Yeah.
bill is good. You just did the first thing that came to your head, and that's what we tell you to do, and that is okay. Now, Chris, you've got a total of $6,300 and a new competitor, Donna Beeson. How are you, Donna?
Terrific, thank you.
Good. You want to tell us a little bit about you so we can get acquainted with you?
Okay, I was born and raised in Tulare, California.
Yeah.
A town of about 20,000. And I've been married 6 years and have 3 kids. Michael, my redhead, who's 4. And Rhonda, my blonde, who's 2.
Yeah.
And my baby Stephanie, who's just 3 months, and she's a brunette.
Well, congratulations to you.
Thank
I
you
bet
very
they're
much.
beautiful children.
Thank you.
All right, Donna, good luck to you. We'll begin by asking you to make a selection of A or B.
B, please.
All right, this is it. New game. Karen said to her new boyfriend, "You told me your house was one big circus, but I never expected the floor to be covered with blank."
I don't need your answer. Look, and watch, I bet his answer will be rotten, too, and he's over there just hiding it like anybody wants it.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, here we go with Donna Beeson. Karen said to her new boyfriend, "You told me your house was one big circus, but I never expected the floor to be covered with..."
Sawdust.
Sawdust is a good one. Sawdust is what traditionally covers the floor.
I'm so embarrassed.
Why are you embarrassed, David?
Elephant manure?
Well, we have a little man who has a little shovel and a broom, you see, and he follows the elephants around, so you don't see too much of that. And what, and give up show business? Okay, Brett.
Well, I'll tell you something. You know, I grew up in Maine. I used to go to the circus all the time. And I want you to know, when I went, I never saw anything but horse manure on the floor.
Okay, on the floor. Can we have elephant? Yes.
And when this,
Not in Maine.
and when the circus left Maine, there still was all that horse stuff on the floor the whole year round, sitting on the front porch. Sawdust.
Sawdust. Thank you, Donna. Lee, show us your sawdust.
Okay.
Oh, she did, by Jove. So, I knew their house was going to be one big circus, but I never expected the floor to be covered with sawdust, according to Donna.
Luckily for Donna, I was not born in Maine, and so I said sawdust.
Right. Now you have 3, Donna. What do you have to contribute?
Well, to contribute, a tasteful answer to redeem myself from the past. Fortunately, it also happens to be right.
We still love you. Okay. So that's 4 for her. She's off to a flying start.
Got my work
We'll
cut out
continue in a
for me.
moment. Right now, we've got this for you. Well, ladies, we don't have time to do another question here, but look forward to seeing both of you tomorrow. All right?
Yeah.
Splendid. Thank you all.
You're
You were
more
just
than welcome.
grand. Is there something I can do for anyone? Don't forget to watch What's His Name here on CPO Sharky.
I did a circus show.
You did a circus show? Where?
CBS here.
No kidding. When's it going to be on?
Circus of the Stars, that's the trouble. It's in December, but I don't know when.
Well, this is the end of November, so it's for a while, right. Join us tomorrow for Match Game 77. Gene Rayburn here. Goodbye.